Still loading. We're good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will call to order the September 6, 2022 meeting of the Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. Would all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a brief moment of silence. Jim, would you lead us in the pledge?
Sure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would all please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Good reactions on there. Chris, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Here.
Commissioner Vogel?
Here.
Commissioner Boyd?
Here. Number one, remember to do it this time, and number two, we have quorum. I will note that we're being live streamed right now. It's being broadcast out via our YouTube channel. We're also being recorded internally for our purposes, compiling the minutes. And to that end, if anyone has business before the board, I would ask they come and speak into the microphone on the table in front of us. We can move that around or adjust as necessary to get around the easel here. I'll also note for members of the public here, we do offer two instances to comment publicly before the Board of Commissioners. We do ask that anyone comment and keep their comments to 5 minutes or less, as well as they keep any matters that they wish to discuss or comment on to county business. So, for example, if you have an issue related to roads, we'd ask you to take it up with either your municipal government, the city, one of the townships and boroughs, or the state of Pennsylvania through Elder Vogel, Chris Sonata, Park Wentling, or Aaron Bernstein. Additionally, if you have federal issues, for example, if you've got a problem with defense spending, that's generally not addressed here, and thank God for that. But on that note, I will open up for any public comments. Any member of the public wishing to make comment? You guys? And Laura, I know you are, but if you'd be able to just give your name and the agency you represent, and I'll tell you what, we'll just for maybe purposes of the, I didn't realize we were going to have you guys coming in today. So if it's all right with you guys, I'll just move these to the ground.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, definitely.
there we go. See, we can look you in the eye.
Want you to sit down?
You can sit down, stand up, whatever makes you comfortable.
It's okay, but
Okay.
I'm only gonna do that.
No, that's fine.
So my name is Laura Colvin, and on September 18th, 2021, my husband passed away as a result of a drug overdose. And I don't say this for a pity party. I'm just letting you know the reason why I do what I do is because of the drug problem. And my goal is to help our youth to stay away from drugs, or if they are on drugs, get them help. I have a program called Game Changer, and we are currently located at the the Cascade Galleria, from the old Edwards Church to our own place, and it's on 100 South Jefferson Street. I'm sure you know where it is. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited because it's a new program, and I'm inviting each and every one of you to come and to our open house on the 22nd of September. The paper is the last paper there. It's the invitation.
It says the 26th.
The 26th, I'm sorry. I have the 22nd on my brain, but yes, it's the 26th. The paper is correct.
Very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We appreciate all you do.
Thank you.
And that is that's a Monday, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Williams, do you have anything?
No, sir, I just came here to look to support Laura.
Gotcha. Thank you. Good to see you both here, as always.
Absolutely.
All right. Any other public comments today? Here, no, we got you guys on for I put it under staff reports, even though you're not really staff.
Right.
So we'll get to that after we get through sort of the more mundane business side of the house here. Fiscal and contractual, we have no repository properties up for bid. We have no advertising for bids or proposals. We do have the receipt of bids or proposals for our parking lot ceiling project. Thankfully, there's only 3. I was expecting at least 250.
Honestly.
We have our controller with us here today. Dave, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, doing good. How was Labor weekend?
Not too bad, you?
It was good. It was good.
I have 3 bids here. The first one I have is Hard Rock Paving and Seal Coating Incorporated. Total amount of bid, $58,150. Next one is from Felina Incorporated. Total amount of bid, $31,129. Final one does not say who it's from, but the rest of it says on the inside.
I'll take it down.
So the amount of the bid's $35,415. I'm not sure who it's from. Oh, here it is, GP Construction Incorporated.
All right, thank you, Dave. Any questions, comments on the bids from my colleagues? I'll take a motion to table those and refer them to the appropriate administrative authorities.
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And those will be referred to probably just the controller and the solicitor. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. We have two warrant registers, also from the controller's office, dated August 29th and August 31, closing out the August month. I'll give my colleagues a minute to check those over and take a motion to accept and file the warrant registers.
So moved.
Second. The motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we have approval of the minutes from Tuesday, August 30th, 2022, our last meeting of the Board of Commissioners. I'll give my colleagues a minute to check those over and take a motion to approve or make any changes as necessary and speed.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have no presentation to written communications. We do have a, and again, I put it under staff report, even though I do recognize you guys aren't staff. I just figured that'd be the most appropriate place to put it, given our agenda setup. Of something that I think all three of us are very excited about, which is a presentation regarding the designs of our new airport terminal building. And so with that being said, I'll turn it over to the group here. I don't know if you want to get put the documents down there. We have the chairman of the airport authority, Jim Ferris, here with us today, as well as our engineers, Maria and Petrus, to talk about the airport terminal. I'll note that the commissioners met with this group I want to say last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. And I'll also note that these designs, while not needing approval by us, were approved by the airport authority board at their, I want to say, last monthly meeting. And again, when we don't have approval authority, we've checked them over and we wanted to show the public what we're working on and doing with the airport authority. So we'll turn it over to you guys and thank you for all your work.
Good morning, Commissioners. So thank you for the time to hear us. And even though you say it's not for a formal approval process, obviously we serve at your pleasure on the airport authority. And we're here to formally get your concurrence and approval to keep moving forward with the next steps of the expansion project of the Newcastle Airport. So with that, I'll let these guys
I just want to
introduce themselves.
have a brief introduction. Again, my name's Mark Scappy. I'm from RIA Engineers. I have the owner, Marcy Johnson, here from RIA Engineers. Tom Stahl from our company is the engineer. Everybody knows Jim Ferris. He's the chairman of the Lawrence County Airport Authority. And then Carl Petrus is the architect, our staff doing the layout. So really, I'm going to turn it over to Carl and Tom and Jim to really give you a little update brief of where we are with the building project. So go ahead, Carl.
Thank you, Mark. And we know all of you are familiar with this, so we'll move right along and keep it brief and to the point. Carl?
Absolutely. Thank you, Jim. Morning, everyone. I just wanted to present our conceptual design. And I have it here on poster board, so not everyone can see it. If anybody would like an electronic copy, get with me after have it emailed to you. But what we're looking at is a building that would go between the existing maintenance terminal building area and what is termed the Shenango Hangar. So it's a very strategic spot on the site, and we're looking at, with RIA's site plan design, basically providing an entryway into a brand new 2-story commercial structure. We're looking at basically maximizing the versatility of this building so that it can be used in a multitude of ways, so that it becomes more or less an area attraction, a major one for Lawrence County as well. It will be approximately 13,000 square feet, 6,500 square feet per floor. The exterior will have varying textures and designs and reliefs in it to make it architecturally interesting. The front of the building will have an entryway. We have overhangs, and we also have second floor will be providing a more or less a banquet center / restaurant, and the first floor will have the aviation services. On the rear of the building, we're looking at a terrace overlook going the entire back section of the building. There'll be access to a commercial gate at the bottom, as well as access to a cargo area. And we're also planning an observation tower up above this terraceway. As far as floor plans, the first floor will be for aviation services. Forgive the crinkle there. So going back to the front elevation, this would be the entryway into the building with a portico, and there'd be an entry lobby, an elevator that goes up to the upper floor. We zoned it out by color, but on this side, we're looking at a cargo area to open up to commercial air traffic. And this area is basically designed for maximum versatility for future. We're looking at access to an elevated loading dock, as well as to the air side for cargo transfer. There'll be a gate area here. We're looking at this being the office area for the FBO of the airport, as well as an executive conference area in here. We're also providing in the design a pilot's lounge, and we also have classroom and training, which is an integral part of the airport operation. There'll also be restrooms on the first floor as well as the second floor. Tom wouldn't mind giving me a quick hint here. I'm gonna go to the second floor without dropping sheet of paper. Pull that top one. That's it. Thank you. You can pop that back on. Thank you, sir. Second floor will be a banquet center seating approximately 250 persons. If you recall, we come through the lobby down below. There's a stairway entrance, as well as the elevator will empty out into an elevator lobby area. There'll be a bar area completely wrapping around. There will be sliding glass doors allowing access onto the open deck terrace area. There'll be seating for approximately 72 people on that terrace deck. There'll be a commercial kitchen down here, and this would be a restaurant, cigar lounge, and restrooms provided. This banquet area here would also be a good spillover area for if the restaurant needs to expand this way or vice versa, the banquet area would have to expand that way. The rooftop observation tower would come right off the terrace room and go straight up from there. And I guess in brief conclusion, this design was done in conjunction with everybody, part of this team that was involved, and we're looking at maximizing the flexibility and the versatility of this building and making it an attraction for Lawrence County.
Speaking holistically on behalf of this project, this is the first phase of what we envision being a large expansion project at the airport, culminating in the expansion lengthening of the runways, allowing more heavier, bigger traffic, more frequent traffic. We know Newcastle Airport's never going to be Pittsburgh Airport an airline passenger terminal. What we do know it can be is a great cargo facility. And we do not have a good cargo airport in this region, in this area between Pittsburgh and Erie. And with new developments in this area, for example, the FedEx that's opening right up the street in Hermitage, things of that nature. This is why we're deciding to gear the airport more towards a cargo nature, and we see that as the future viability of the airport. This is step one. This would not only generate revenue for an extended period of time for the airport, but it gives us the inroads to start cargo handling facilities and community awareness, community involvement of the airport, the building being used for everything, obviously the aviation and cargo functions, but in addition to that, being used for community events, proms, private events that can be rented for. But we have a group of, in fact, we have quite a few industrial users locally who utilize the airport now, flying clients in and out of the airport. This would give the facilities for those clients to meet right there at the airport, have food service, beverage services, start utilizing the great asset that the airport is, and in furtherance of hopeful further economic development in the county. So we're very fortunate in Newcastle. We're lucky to have a facility like this airport. And this is the time we're stepping forward and hopefully utilizing it to its fullest capability in furtherance of the county. So if anyone has any questions.
I can tell you this, in terms of commercial real estate over the last several years, last decade, you've seen a real shift towards warehousing and distribution facilities. I think that the board of directors at the airport recognized this when you guys brought us this project. And I'm certainly appreciative of you guys being mindful of economic opportunities for the county of Lawrence. This would successfully position our region to double down on our already phenomenal access to highway corridors, on our access to railway networks, and allow us to expand access to the airways, to allow for increased transportation and logistics-based traffic, forming an industry cluster in Lawrence County. We were just successful, the region, and 62.5, I want to say 62.5 thereabouts, $1 million grant from the federal government that relates to building out our robotics industries. That's going to require a hell of a lot of storage capacity for the region. And this is a potential site for that. I'll note that, Jimmy, I know you, as well as other members of the airport authority, have been in contact with real estate developers for potentially building out new terminal space there, new hangar space, new warehousing space on site at that location. This has the potential, in my opinion, to help catalyze more growth in our transportation logistics industries. And I appreciate you guys spearheading it for the county. In terms of next steps, I'll also note that right now, for the next 4 years, through the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act, there is funding out there, federal funding for terminal programs and for the construction of new terminals. So I'm sure we'll be chasing after more of that. Once the engineering's done, once it's in our official airport land development plan, we'll have a very good chance, I think, of going out and getting it. Do we have an ETA, or not ETA, but a projected timeline on when the engineering is going to be done for this site?
Mark?
Well, I'm going to go back to Carl on that one. I'm trying to figure if we can get it done probably in the first quarter of next year, that we'd have something to be able to start presenting into grants and everything like that, because those applications start to come out right at the beginning of the year. So we want to try to hit that schedule. So that's what I'm looking at. I'll defer to Carl more if, on your design. What do you feel? Is that doable? Yeah, so that's what we're looking for, to try to meet those grant requirements. So you'll be able to submit in and we'll have that design completed at that time for you.
Perfect. I know the last one I want to say was due March, the end of March last year. So that'll put us in a good time frame to get that BIL application. On top of that, we've been in communication with the governor's office, and this is RACP eligible. So we'll be able to potentially go after those dollars to fit out the project as well. But I want to say I appreciate all of your work on this, from Maria to Petrus to the airport board. Appreciate you guys stepping up as really economic development partners for the county of Lawrence. I mean, this project has the potential to allow us to enjoy the benefits of the airport for now, into the distant future. So thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Questions or comments from my colleagues?
I do have a question. First of all, thank you for being here today. Do you anticipate making, given the fact that the airport is located within the borders of Union Township, do you anticipate making a similar presentation to their Board of Supervisors?
We do. And we've obviously been in constant communication with the township supervisors, and they're excited, being in their municipality, they have something nobody else in the county has too. And now they seeing the potential and what this can do for their community, they're in full support. And yes, we will be moving forward with them too. First, we wanted your approval / concurrence to continue moving forward in your agreement that we're on the right path. And yes, and now we're going to continue moving forward.
Because we know how important the county being supportive of this project is. I mean, just not only saying, okay, it's going to bring something to us, but you're the ones who paid for the grants and everything for the airport authority. So we need your assistance on it. So, we want to make sure that you guys are on board. And if there's anything that you want tweaked or looked at, please reach out to us so we can look at it now. We're in the design stages right now. If your suggestions, so we can take a look at it now so we can put it down on it. But we need to be partners with you as well as us, you with us. So, like Jimmy was saying earlier, we're looking to do a runway extension at the airport. And that brings in larger planes for cargo and everything like that. Our key spot is about 5,000 foot runway. We're at 4. So we need to add 1,000 foot so we can hit those planes. So everything is baby steps, but we're looking at a bigger picture for the county and for the region.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the allocation that this board made to the authority earlier this year?
Yes.
Or was it in 21?
It would have been January this year.
Do you remember the dollar amount?
150.
150. I think that in and of itself tells you where we stand on this.
No, and we appreciate that. And unfortunately or fortunately, we'll probably be coming back for some more.
Everybody does. Excellent job.
Thank
Job
you.
well done.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. You're welcome to stick around for the rest of the meeting if you want. If you want to take off, believe me, I completely understand. I myself would not be here if I wasn't obligated to be here. On that note, we're moving to commissioner reports and comments. We have Commissioner Vogler. You're on deck first today. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd. The only thing I'll just note, later in the meeting, we'll talk about upcoming meetings. We just got an email that the Lawrence County Planning Commission will meet a week from tomorrow, September 14th, out at the Washington Township Municipal Building, and that meeting's open to the public. That's at noon. That's all I have. All right, thank you.
Commissioner Spielvogel, you're on deck.
I've got nothing but a head cold.
Oh, boy.
I got nothing.
Well, I guess I'll try to keep mine short and sweet for you to get you out of here. A couple months ago, I noted that I've been reviewing the county code, and as a part of the county code, it states that we're able, as a county, to adopt the property maintenance code. In conversations with the solicitor, we are able to adopt minimal standards for property maintenance across the county, and we're able to enforce those minimum standards. And so to that end, over the course of the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be getting together with Amy McKinney and Josh Lamacusa, as well as other pertinent stakeholders, to potentially come up with a plan to implement a county-wide property maintenance code to bring before the board. What I would envision something like that to be is for strategic properties and for strategic projects to give the county some teeth to go in and enforce property maintenance code on sites, for example, like Shenango, China, on sites like the Mount Jackson school district, the old school district there right in the heart of for areas like the Shenango Village Plaza, for targeted projects like Union Township. The goal of any such county-wide program as it relates to code enforcement would not be in any way, shape, or form to assume code enforcement responsibility from the municipality. So for example, issues arising on the south side of Newcastle under any proposal that I would put forward would still have to be resolved by the city. Issues arising by and large in the borough of New Wilmington, not that we have that many, would have to be resolved by the borough of New Wilmington. The goal of any countywide program as it relates to code enforcement, in my opinion, would be specifically for county strategic projects. And I want to put language, if we were to enact an ordinance in there specifying that. I spoke to the district attorney earlier today. At the beginning of our term, 2020, I know that he was in conversations with the city of Newcastle, whereby if they were to get more aggressive on code enforcement, that he would provide an assistant district attorney to help prosecute those cases, to make sure that those code violators, those slumlords, are held accountable to property maintenance. And as we all know, the city's enforcement, just to use the city as an example, has been lackluster. That hasn't occurred. He indicated this morning a willingness to still provide that under a county program as a member of a countywide blight task force. So, you know, again, I'm going to flesh this out with Jason, with Amy, with Josh over the course of the next few weeks. But I'll tell you what, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of seeing buildings falling down in Lawrence County. I'm sick and tired of talking about large-scale industrial sites like Shenango, China, knowing that no one's going after enforcement there. I'm sick and tired of driving past the Mount Jackson school building and see it crumbling. And I think we have an opportunity to do something here. I think we have an obligation to do something here as it relates to targeted projects. Code enforcement is one of the county's candidly larger areas of failure. And it's not on us, at least at this point. You know, a large extent, code enforcement does still fall on the municipalities, and the municipalities, specifically the city of Newcastle, need to do a better job enforcing it. Any proposal that I put forward here is going to be specific to addressing targeted priorities, but the county needs to step up. We need to take on more leadership role in this, because if we don't, candidly, I don't see the job getting done. So again, I'll be preparing something here. I also believe we could fund it, something like that, through either ARPA or CDBG funding, so it wouldn't come from the county general. So we'll be bringing something before you guys here in the next couple of weeks and go from there. That's all I have. Public safety, we have Director Strobel here. Chad, I understand we need to add an addendum to our emergency operations plan. I think Jeff is still listed on it.
Yeah, officially with FEMA, Jeff is still listed as director for us to continue to get the EMPG funding and the grants from the state FEMA. We have to do a promulgation, have me as a director. It's all clerical, so.
We're used to clerical here. Don't you worry, Brock.
Just changing the name, that's all.
Absolutely. Chris, do we have a resolution number?
262.
262. Questions, comments for Director Strobel?
I do, just quickly. First of all, you know, thanks for bringing this to us. Number two, you're doing a heck of a good job since you've replaced Jeff, and he helped to teach you well, but a lot of that you've brought yourself. I do recall that we had a conversation with you a while back, asking you to give some thought to the current structure of your department, and at some point, if you could get back to us and let us know if you do have any proposed changes in mind, or just the fact that your former position is still vacant, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct, yeah, I was just talking to Joe about that before the meeting, and I was kind of looking at, you know, some budgets finalized, or at least being reviewed to put that position in there and make sure it's filled here shortly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because we cannot shortchange public safety. Thank you, Chad.
All right, I'll take a motion to approve 262.
So moved.
Second. Your motion is second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. Chris, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spillvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Consider it promulgated.
Okay.
Hey, you too.
You too.
Up next, 263. This is very simply just adjusting some revenues and expenses at the DA forfeiture fund. Due to the volatility of that fund is probably the appropriate word to describe it. It goes up and down randomly throughout the year and over the course of the year, so it's almost impossible to make a budget projection for it. So to that end, when I wrote the 2022 budget, I purposely zeroed out the accounts in that fund with the expectation that if something were to happen throughout the year that would require either an influx of forfeiture funding or an outflow of forfeiture funding, we'd be able to amend the budget. I did that again just because this account's so random and when money comes in. Questions, comments on that?
No.
I'll take a motion to approve 263.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Chris, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. This next one, very simple, is some moving expenses for the new magisterial office. We had to pay some dues to get up there and shift over across the street to the new building, so we're making the transfer for that. Questions, comments? Hearing none, I'll take a motion on 264.
So moved.
Second. A motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on motion. Chris, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. This is an interesting one. Some admin transfers. We're moving $1,550 from domestic relations contingency to vehicle maintenance domestics. As an animal built a nest into one of our domestics engines, chewed up some of the wires, and so we need to get that fixed. Every once in a while that happens. Next, Rick Russo. This is at the request of the controller's office. We're moving some money around there to satisfy our new obligations at the new building. That's it for admin transfers. Do we have a motion on A and B of the admin transfers?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. No ordinances on the table for introduction or final action. Next commissioners meeting will be Tuesday, September 6th. Is that today?
Yeah, that's next week. We gotta make it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
13th?
it'll be yes, 13th.
Here we go. I was about to say, I feel like
Yeah,
that's
wait a
today.
minute, that's today.
At 10 a.m. in the commissioners meeting room, courthouse. That happened.
Yeah,
We were
that's right,
closed.
yeah.
We were closed. As Dan mentioned, we have the planning commission meeting. Was that next week?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Any other announcements? No. Okay. Any other public comments at this time? Yeah.
Is there still a League of Municipalities meeting tomorrow?
Yes.
8 a.m.,
I thought 8:30.
8:30.
No, it's not 8 a.m.
Hutchison Center,
Hutchison Center.
Pearson Park.
I have standing instructions to all staff. If you want me to meeting, don't make it at 8.
Okay,
Don't go up.
very good.
And anything further from the board?
No, sir.
All right. Lawrence County Board of Commissioners is adjourned.
Debbie, you want my packet?
I have one, thank you.
Well, you do. With all the
Thank you,
attachments?
one, yeah,
You have all the attachments?
How about that?
All righty.
good, how are you? Good to see you. No.
Why don't you get-
12:30.